Once the app is successfully built on DhiWise, then we can do three things: download the source code, sync the app code to VS Code, or sync the code to GitHub or GitLab. First, let's learn how to sync code to GitHub. Before we begin, make sure, while you create a repository, that it's empty. Not even a README file should be present in it to successfully sync the code. Now, go to the app settings, then integrations, where you will see two options. First, we will sync the code to GitHub, so select GitHub. Then, you have to provide the DhiWise authorization to connect to your GitHub account. After the authorization is successful, the user is returned to the DhiWise panel. Now, we can easily sync the application code to GitHub. First, click on the Select Repository button to choose an existing repository, or create a new repository to sync the application code. Then click the Select button to select an existing repository or the plus button to add a new repository. Just make sure the new repository is empty. Then select the repository to see respective information. You can also sync code to GitHub from the source code view. Now, let's look at how to sync code in GitLab. Just like GitHub, when you create a repository, make sure it is empty. Not even a README file should be in it. Follow the same steps as you did to sync your GitHub account. Click on the Sync with GitLab button, then you will get two options: SaaS and Self-Manage. Select any of the two options, and enter the required details to proceed to the next step. A personal access token is required to sync application code on GitLab. If you don't know how to obtain a personal token, you can find it from here. Let's first sync GitLab using SaaS. It means, here you can access your personal GitLab account. Select SaaS and enter your access token, and click on Submit. When the authorization is complete, you will be returned to the DhiWise application settings. When you select Integration, you will see the Select Repository option. Select a blank repository, as you will be unable to select a repository that already contains programming files, or click the plus button to add a new repository. You will be redirected to GitLab, where you can create a new repository. After creating a new repository, click the Refresh button, and the newly created repository will appear in the list. After selecting the repository, you will be able to see the GitLab repository name and URL. Also, you can change the repository by clicking on the Change Repository button. To commit code to GitLab, you have to first build your app. The GitLab repository will be visible at the bottom of the code page. To push your application code to the GitLab repository, click Commit. Same as you sync GitHub using Self-Manage. And that's how you can successfully sync your application code to GitHub and GitLab.